guy stick? What if I told you I sucked it? I was 10 years old, but it's true. I put Doug Goebel's stick in my mouth. I was in 4th grade. It was no big deal. He sucked mine too. And you know what? It wasn't terrible. Page 174. I don't know if I made sign for this one. Yeah, I did. He talked about old times at the church, but never mentioned our penises or the fact that he never said...
Pause it again. Again, folks, we're doing this for journalistic purposes. I'm not trying to be shock jock here. I'm not trying to offend you with this language. This is just, we're doing this for journalistic purposes. This is what the woman is covering out of the book, recommended to high school age kids and younger, talking about, and of course they have it in a church setting, saying, oh, I'm S-ing D in a church with my 10-year-old friend and I'm in 4th grade. All recommended reading by the teachers. And again, folks, there's images of this that they recommend, like comic book style illustrations that they recommend to elementary school kids, to 4th graders, because that's what the book's about.
On September 9th, 2021, the puppet President Joe Biden publicly declared war against America. He then announced dictatorial powers unto himself and announced forced inoculations against the American people. He is a puppet of the United Nations and the Rockefeller compound of corporations that put him in power, and he is making a very serious move against the American people. But the attack he's launched is being launched against every other Western country on the planet by these corporations that have already enslaved the third world. What they're doing is illegal on its face, violates our federal and state laws and the Geneva Convention as well as the Nuremberg Code. It's very, very simple. We have to decide whether we're going to surrender to this globalist corporate takeover or whether we're going to stand up with our birthright and say no and then prosecute these criminals for their crimes against humanity so other criminals in the future don't dare try it. The choice is up to us.
Books are now being recommended to kids in high school and elementary school, junior high school that are promoting pedophilia in many cases, but just sexualizing them, homosexuality, all of this stuff. And so one mother found what one of the recommended reading books was for her high school kid. And so she went to the school board and gave them the what for. And here is that video.
I'm going to explain to you the book that he received. But Mr. McKay, I pray you are a man of your word. Last week I asked my children if I could check the books that they picked up from the school. My son picked up this brand new book from the shelves in class, Long Boy. He was under the impression it was about a kid that ends up at the beginning mowing the grass at Disneyland. I'd like to share a few quotes with you. This first one, just turn around. On page 19, not that it really matters in 4th grade, at a church youth group meeting out in the bushes, I touched Doug Goebel's dick and he touched mine.
Did you hear that? They said a 4th grader. They're reading. Pause it real quick, just because it's kind of hard to hear that. I want to emphasize. In the book, it talks about 4th graders engaging in homosexual behavior, touching each other's genitals. This is in a recommended reading book for this high school age kid right here. And by the way, there's even worse out there that there's like comic picture books where they actually show basically gay porn in these books to elementary school kids. But here's again the woman bringing this up to the student council or the student board, school board.
That's from page 91. What if I told you I touched another guy's dick? What if I told you I sucked it? I was 10 years old, but it's true. I put Doug Goebel's stick in my mouth. I was in 4th grade. It was no big deal. He sucked mine too. And you know what? It wasn't terrible. Page 174. I don't know if I made sign for this one. Yeah, I did. He talked about old times at the church, but never mentioned our penises or the fact that he never said...
Pause it again. Again, folks, we're doing this for journalistic purposes. I'm not trying to be shock jock here. I'm not trying to offend you with this language. This is just, we're doing this for journalistic purposes. This is what the woman is covering out of the book, recommended to high school age kids and younger, talking about, and of course they have it in a church setting, saying, oh, I'm S-ing D in a church with my 10-year-old friend and I'm in 4th grade. All recommended reading by the teachers. And again, folks, there's images of this that they recommend, like comic book style illustrations that they recommend to elementary school kids, to 4th graders, because that's what the book's about. This is sickening stuff. Finish the video.
No flooring in the bushes. Not a single reference to holding or tutting or sucking dicks. All I could think about while he was chatting me up was his little salamander between my 4th grade fingers, rapidly engorging with blood. Page 230.
This is pedophilia, man.
Why won't you admit it?
The writer of this is a pedophile.
You showed a Hershey's bar, then you showed me your dick. The next thing I know, it's in my mouth. We suck each other's dick, and you're pretending it didn't happen.
All right, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry. I can't take it anymore. And you see, think about this conundrum where, and I apologize to the crew. It's probably going to have to hear from some of the networks that pick us up and some of the satellite people that pick us up. But so think about this conundrum. I can't even play the coverage of a book that's recommended to 4th graders because it's too inappropriate for a television or a radio audience. But yet they recommend it to 4th graders. Like, does this register to you? Do you understand the Twilight Zone that we're living in here? I don't even want to hear that stuff. I'm a full-grown adult. I don't want to hear about 4th graders and 10-year-olds. I can't even repeat what they said. It's literally, I mean, imagine, you're writing this about young men in the most graphic way. And so then you can see how they all know the teachers that are doing this. They all know the school board members that are doing this. Folks, this is pedophilia in recommended reading for kids in elementary school, junior high school, and high school. Graphic, like that's 50 Shades of Grey crap, man. It's not like, I'm done. But see, there's a good chance that we'll hear from some of the network feeds that pick us up for playing that. But they recommend it, but nobody will go after the schools that recommend that as reading for their kids. Ladies and gentlemen, Owen Schroyer here, the host of the InfoWars War Room, and I am very excited about our latest supplement addition to InfoWarsStore.com. Now, I've been supplementing with greens, fibers, and vegetable capsules for a long time, and so I was excited to hear that we were adding our own greens fiber caps to InfoWarsStore.com. But then I read the ingredients and I was blown away. Listen to this. Organic pea fiber, organic alfalfa leaf, organic wheatgrass leaf, organic cilantro leaf, organic kale leaf, organic flax sprout, organic quinoa sprout. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these things are so incredible for your health. Just one of these ingredients can be a life-changing supplement for your health, and we've packed it all in to Fiber Green caps at InfoWarsStore.com. So I'm excited to add this to my supplement routine every day. I suggest that you do the same thing, and right now it's at an introductory price of $19.95. That's 33% off at InfoWarsStore.com.